Welcome to this tutorial on using the evaporation module of the CrystalBreeder. CrystalBreeder is a multiple reactor crystallization platform for early-stage solid-state discovery. It operates at working volumes of 0.06 to 0.1 milliliters, with real-time turbidity readings for 32 parallel reactors and 8 independent temperature-controlled experiments. CrystalBreeder can be operated with different modules using additional setups. In this video, we will guide you step by step on how to set up and perform controlled evaporation crystallization experiments. The evaporation function allows a controlled vacuum in the reaction vial to perform controlled evaporation studies, depending on the vacuum set on the vacuum pump. The application of vacuum during evaporation crystallization serves several important purposes, as detailed here. To begin, place the evaporation module behind the CrystalBreeder. Make sure to support the module by placing its support legs under the CrystalBreeder for stability. Connect all the connections at the back of the CrystalBreeder. For evaporation, connect to dry air or nitrogen, and ensure the pressure is set to 1 bar. Next, connect the vacuum pump to the connector and power supply cable at the back of the evaporation module. Now connect the delivered tubing to each evaporation port on evaporation module. For example, tube from module connector A to reactor A. Attach the other end of each tubing to the corresponding block reactor on the CrystalBreeder system, ensuring a secure connection. All reactor blocks operate independently from each other, and there will be no pressure lost by opening or closing of one or more reactors on the other reactor blocks. Prepare the samples by filling the vials with your compound and solvent in a vial holder. Tightly screw the evaporation cap on each vial. Make sure the O-ring is intact to ensure a perfect seal between the vials and the evaporation cap assembly. Place the evaporation top assembly on the vials. Apply pressure on both sides to fix the vials in a straight line. Insert the vials with the evaporation top into one of the reactor blocks of the CrystalBreeder and tighten the silver screw firmly. With the nitrogen pressure set at 1 bar and the evaporation off in the CrystalBreeder system, the readout in the display should be 1 bar. For all readouts above 1 bar, a red light is glowing on the display. This is an extra indicator that there is no vacuum in the circuit. To start the experiment, open the crystallization system software and click on the reactor where the vials are placed. Create a new experiment. Fill in the details, such as experiment name, username, and description. For the type of cap, select Evaporation to enable the evaporation option during the experiment. Enter the details for the 4 vials, such as compound, solvent, concentration, and the type of top stirrer. After filling the details, go to the Experiment Program tab to set up the experiment steps. Add rows for each step of your experiment. First, add a linear ramp to increase the temperature close to the boiling point of the solvent or to any desired temperature. Specify the end temperature and heating rate. Specify the stirring speed. Select on to enable evaporation during this step. Next, add a hold step to maintain the temperature. Specify the duration. And then the stirring speed. Turn evaporation on. Add more steps as required, then save. Start the experiment by clicking on Start. When the evaporation is on, the duration is represented by a yellow shade on the experiment program. The pressure is regulated with the vacuum pump. For example, set the vacuum pump at 500 millibar absolute, then the readout on the evaporation module display should be -0.5 bar. Equally, when the vacuum pump is set at 400 millibar absolute, the readout on the evaporation module display should be -0.6 bar. For all readouts below 500 millibar, a green light is showing on the display. This is an extra indicator that there is vacuum in the circuit. When the experiment is finished, go to Experiment Reporting. Select the desired format and export the experiment. Additionally, you can save or discard the experiment as needed. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to us.